I don't believe it.
I hope you're ready, because I'm about to tell you the story of my life. More specifically, why my life ended.
Hannah Baker killed herself?
And if you're listening to this, you're one of the reasons why.
What? No!
Fear not, if you receive this lovely little box, your name will pop up. I promise.
Is this some kind of twisted suicide note?
The rules are simple.
What's that you're playing?
Mom, nothing. It's a school project.
Can I listen?
It's not mine. I'm helping a friend. You know, for history, it's pretty boring.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. I'll leave you in peace.
There are only two. Rule number one, you listen. Number two, you pass it on. In case you're tempted to break the rules, understand I did make a copy of these tapes. And those copies were released in a very public manner. This package does not make it through all of you. This was not a spur-of-the-moment decision. Do not take me for granted. Again.
There's no way that she could think that. I mean, I hardly knew Hannah Baker. I mean, I wanted to.
Which reminds me, if you're on my list, you should have received a map.
I'm on the list. Save this, you'll need it.
Throughout these tapes, I'll be mentioning several spots around our beloved busy city for you to visit. I can't force you to go there, but if you'd like a little more insight, just head to the red stars on the map. Or you can throw the map away and I'll never know. Ready, Mr. Foley?
Justin Foley, a senior. He was Hannah's first kiss, but why do I know that?
Justin, honey, you were my first kiss, but you were nothing more than an average guy. I don't say that to be mean. I went back as far as you to find an introduction to our story, and that's really where it begins.
Where am I on this list, Hannah?
Our first red star can be found at C4. This was our house when I first came to town, and it's where I first saw Justin.
Why am I listening to this? I mean, why put myself through this? Because it's Hannah's voice. A voice I never thought I'd hear again.
I asked my mom how to get a boy's attention. She said, play hard to get. So that's what I did. You were the first to actually get my number, Justin. It's not like I didn't want to give it up before. I was just cautious. You know, new town, new school, and this time I was going to be in control of how people saw me. How often is it that you get a second chance?
The stories must be bad. Really bad. Why would people want to pass forward a bunch of tapes blaming them in a suicide? I mean, they wouldn't. But Hannah wants us to hear what she has to say, and we'll do what she says. Passing the tapes on, if only to keep them away from someone not on the list. That sounds like some secret club, and for some reason I'm in it.
By the time I got home, you had already called. Twice. You lied and told my mom we had math class together. I grabbed the slip of paper with your number from my mom's hand and ran upstairs. When you picked up the phone, I said, Justin, it's Hannah. My mom said you called with the math problem. So Justin, what's the problem? And you didn't miss a beat.
Train A is leaving your house at 3:45 p.m. Train B is leaving my house 15 minutes later.
Pick me, Mr. Foley, pick me, I know the answer.
Yes, Miss Baker?
The two trains meet at Eisenhower Park, at the bottom of the rocket slide.
What did Hannah see in him? I mean, for an average-looking guy, so many girls are into Justin. Maybe they find him intriguing. He's always looking out of a window, contemplating something.
So, when do the trains meet?
15 minutes.
15 minutes seems awfully slow for two trains going full speed.
Whoa. Slow down, Hannah.
I know what you're all thinking. Hannah Baker is a slut. Wrong. Hannah Baker is not and never was a slut. Which begs the question, what have you heard? I simply wanted a kiss. I was a freshman girl who had never been kissed before. Never. And I liked a boy, he liked me, and I was going to kiss him. That's the story. The whole story right there.
What was the other one? Because I did hear something.
In the nights leading up to our meeting, I had that same dream. In that dream, I had my first kiss at the bottom of the rocket slide. And now I'd be meeting you at that park, at the bottom of that slide.
Hannah!
Be right down.
Stop! I'll climb up.
No, let me take the slide.
I'll catch you.
He said it just like in my dreams. All my friends had their first kisses in middle school. Mine was waiting for me at the bottom of the slide. All I had to do was push off. And I did. Wait, stop. Don't rewind. There's no need to go back because you didn't miss a thing. Let me repeat myself. That is all that happened. Why? Did you hear something else?
Yes, I did. We all did.
Well, what did you hear? Because I've heard so many stories, I don't know which one's most popular, but I do know which one's least popular. The truth.
I can still see Justin home among his friends at school, and I remember Hannah walking by and the whole group stopped talking. And when she passed, they even started laughing. I wanted to talk to Hannah so many times, but I was too shy, too afraid. Watching Justin and his friends that day, I got the sense that there was more to Hannah than I knew.
So thank you, Justin. My very first kiss was wonderful, but then you started bragging. A rumor based on a kiss started a reputation that others believed in and acted on. Turn the tape over for more.
C4. I know where that is, but first, I'll go to Tony's. Tony never upgraded her car stereo, so it still plays tapes. That way she says she's in control of the music in case she gives someone a ride. But most important of all, she owns an old Walkman that plays tapes. Mom! I'm heading to a friend's house for her project. I'll call you later. Did it break down, or is this just for fun, Tony?
You kidding? It's always fun. What's going on, Ty?
Not much. I need to get out of the house. My mom was getting on my nerves.
Tell me about it. My dad's been nagging me about my homework. What brings you around?
What if she's on the tapes? What if she's already listened to them and knows exactly what's going on in my head? Or worse, what if she hasn't? I was just walking by, thought I'd say hi.
Well, I'm heading over to Rosie's in a bit. Can I give you a lift?
Thanks, but I'm only walking a few blocks.
Where are you off to?
God, I'm freaking out. Nowhere.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking around for part 2. If you're listening to this, one of two things has just happened. A, you're Justin, and after hearing your little tale, you want to know who comes next. Or B, you're someone else and you're waiting to see if it's you. Well, Alex Standall, it's your turn.
It's not me.
I'm sure you probably have no idea why you're on my tapes. You probably think you did a good thing, right?
The list.
You voted me best ass in the freshman class. How could anyone be angry with that? If you think I'm being silly, listen. And you kind of have to, don't you? Because I can name an entire list of people who would be very upset if the second set of tapes got out. So let's begin, shall we? I remember sitting in second period the morning the list came out, picking at an old piece of tape under my desk to keep from falling asleep. Eventually, the list made its way to the desk behind me.
You bet it is.
But what is?
When I first saw that list in history class, there were a few names that I didn't recognize, but I knew Hannah's name, and I laughed when I saw it.
Freshman class. Who's hot, who's not? I had to find my name. Where is my name?
Seriously?
Right next to my name, but in the other column was Jessica Davis's name. Truth is, Jessica's so much prettier than I am, she would have beat me in every category. Everyone knows worst ass in the freshman class is a lie, but I'm sure no one cared why she ended up on your side of your list, Alex. Some people may think you were right in choosing me over Jessica, but I think the deciding factor was revenge. But this tape is about how people change when they see your name on a stupid list. I just looked over every name, every story that completes these tapes, and guess what? Every single one of them documented here might not have happened had you, Alex, not put my name on that list.
Alex's list was a joke, a bad one, but he had no idea it would affect her like this. I shouldn't be on this list. I did nothing wrong.
The day your list came out wasn't too traumatic. I knew it was a joke, and whoever had a copy of it, they knew it was a joke too. But what happens whenever someone says you have the best ass in the freshman class? Let me tell you, it gives some people, go ahead to treat you like you're nothing but a specific body part. Need an example? Fine. B3 on your maps. Who's got liquor?
Hey, that's nearby.
I used to go to Blue Spot anytime I had a sweet tooth, which means yes, I went there every day.
Blue Spot has always looked grimy from the sidewalk, so I've never actually gone inside.
If I wanted, I could tell you the name of the person who walked into that store whenever I was checking in my bag for change. I do remember, but as far as your story goes, Alex, his action, his horrible, disgusting action was just an after effect of yours.
What happened in the store because of Alex's list?
Hey, Wally. Oh, Anna. I didn't see you there.
Did I mention I was standing at the counter, visible to anyone the moment they walked in the door?
Hey, Wally, guess what? Best ass in the freshman class stand right here in your store.
Did it hurt? No, but that doesn't matter because the question is, did he have the right to do it? And the answer, I hope, is obvious. Excuse me?
Anna.
When I looked into his eyes, the joke he gave was gone.
I know who Hannah's talking about now. I've seen his little wrist-grabbing stunt before. It always makes me want to grab him by the shirt and push him till he lets the girl go. But instead, every time, I just pretend not to notice. What could I do anyways?
I'm only playing, Anna. Just relax.
Okay, let's discuss what just happened. First his words, then his actions. Statement number 1.
Only playing, Anna.
Translation, your ass is my play toy. You might think you have final say over what happens to your ass, but you don't. At least not as long as I'm only playing. Statement number 2.
Just relax.
Translation, come on, Hannah. All I did was touch you with no indication that you wanted me to touch you. Let's discuss his actions now, shall we? Action number 1, smacking my ass. Let me back up and say this guy has never grabbed my ass before, so why now?
I'm starting to understand what Hannah means, and that opens up a black hole in the pit of my stomach.
Alex, am I saying you just gave him permission to smack my ass? No, I'm saying you gave him an excuse. Action number 2. He grabbed my wrists and then put his hand on my shoulder. And when this guy saw me upset, did he apologize? No. Instead, he got aggressive. And then in the most condescending way, he told me to relax. Here's a tip. If you touch a girl, even as a joke, and she pushes you off, leave her alone.
All because of a stupid list.
Jessica, my dear, you're next. I wasn't completely alone in the beginning of my freshman year. 2 other freshmen who were also new to the area, Jessica Davis and Alex Standall. And though we never became close friends, we did rely on each other those first few weeks of school. So where did we go? E7 on your maps. Monet's Garden Cafe and Coffee House. I don't remember much of what we spoke of that afternoon.
I think that guy's checking you out.
Just checking you out.
Excuse me, which one of us are you checking out?
And a few months later, after the Justin Foley rumors began, Alex wrote a list. Who's hot, who's not. But there, at Monet's, no one knew where that meeting would even lead.
Alex blushed, and when he opened his mouth to deny it, Jessica cut him off.
Don't lie, which one of us are you checking out? Look, we're both new to this town, and we'd like to know who you were staring at. It's important.
It's just, I'm new here too.
Oh. Poor Alex just wanted to join our conversation, so we let him. That afternoon at Monet's was a relief. Monet's truly filled whatever void needed filling. For all of us. Don't worry, it didn't last.
Why?
First to stop coming was Alex. Then Jessica stopped going, and though I went a few more times, hoping one of them might walk in, eventually I stopped going too. Until
What happened, Hannah?
one day at school, Jessica came up to me in the halls.
We need to talk.
She didn't say when or where, but I knew she meant Monet's, and I thought I knew why.
Who's hot, who's not?
Who cares? It doesn't mean anything.
Hannah, I don't care. I don't care that he picked you over me.
He did not choose me over you. He chose me to get back at you, and you know that. He
Hannah.
knew my name would hurt you more than anyone else's.
Hannah! Hannah, I don't care about the rumors.
You can't know rumors. Maybe I was being a little naive, but I hoped, silly me, that there would be no rumors whenever my family moved here. And that we had left the rumors and gossip behind us, for good. You can hear rumors, but you can't know them.
Hannah!
Yes, Jessica, I know the rumors, and I swear I haven't seen Alex one time outside of school. You have to believe me.
Jessica could have heard so many rumors about Alex and Hannah, but none of them were true.
For Jessica, it was easier to think of me as bad Hannah than the Hannah she got to know at Monet's. For Jessica, the rumors needed to be true.
I don't believe you.
Fine, Jessica, thank you for helping me these first few weeks of school. It meant a lot, and I'm sorry Alex screwed that up with a stupid list of his. But all Jessica heard is me accepting blame. So Jessica, what did you mean to do? That scar that you've all seen on top of my eyebrow? That's the shape of Jessica's fingernail, which I plucked out myself.
I noticed that scar a few weeks ago at the party. A tiny flaw on such a pretty face. And I told her how cute it was. Minutes later, she started freaking out.
I see that scratch every morning when I get ready for school. But it's more than just a scar. It's a knife in my back because a friend would rather believe some made-up rumor than what she knows to be true.
I figure if I drink enough coffee, maybe I can stay up late enough to finish the tapes. But should I? In one night? Or should I listen to my story and then just enough for the next one to see who I'm supposed to pass them off to?
Hey, what are you listening to?
Just in case.
Because that takes. Interesting. Anyone I've heard of? We went to school together 2 years ago. You're Clay, right? We had one class together, but we didn't really talk much.
You look familiar.
You wouldn't recognize me. I've changed a lot since high school. Thank God.
Which class did we have?
Woodshop. The only thing I got out of that class were splinters, and I made a piano bench. Do you remember what you ended up making?
A spice rack.
Nice. Well, maybe I'll see you around when there's more time to talk.
Why isn't she talking? Why?
Shh! Sometimes there's no one around to tell you to be quiet. For example, you better be quiet, extremely quiet, if you're going to be a peeping Tom. Because what if they knew? What if she, what if I found out? And guess what, Tyler Down? I found out. I feel sorry for you, Tyler. Your story, it's a little creepy, and I feel a little creepy telling it too. I'm trying to understand the excitement of staring through someone's bedroom window when they don't know they're being watched. Okay, a show of hands. Who knows where I'm standing right now?
Where are you, Hannah?
You said outside Tyler's window. You're right, and that's A4 on your maps. There's a meeting of the yearbook staff tonight, so I know Tyler won't be home till it's nice and dark. Which as an amateur peeping Tom, I appreciate very much, so thank you. You got quite a bit of camera equipment in here. Yes, you're part of the yearbook staff, but is that what you use all this stuff for? Candid shots of the student body? Yes. Candid shots of the student body. Wait, did you hear that? It's you, Tyler. Yes, this is exciting. I can definitely see the thrill.
It must have been terrifying for him to hear this.
Hey, listeners, ready? How long were you stalking me, Tyler? How did you know that my parents were at home that weekend? As you know, the night this all began, the guy who I went out with walked me all the way to my front door. And then he left. And the moment I walked in my house, the second I stepped into my room, outside, that sounded like a camera. Oh, I'm only freaking myself out. It must just be the bed creaking, that's it. Truth is, I didn't know what to hope for. My parents weren't home. I was alone. I thought ignoring him would be my best option. Stupid? Yes. But did it make sense? Yes, at the time.
You should have called the cops, Hannah.
Had I snuck under the blinds to see you there, Tyler, I would have ran outside and embarrassed the hell out of you. Wait, here you come. Okay, you're turning on the light, you're shutting the door. You're sitting on the bed, taking off your shoes, and now your socks.
It's your room, Tyler. You can do what you want, but don't embarrass yourself anymore.
Maybe I should tap on the window. Maybe I should give him the same paranoia he gave me. Revenge might be nice. Revenge would be great. But we need to move on. day, I told the girl who sat next to me what happened. This girl's known for being sympathetic and a good listener, and I wanted someone to validate my fears. Well, she was definitely not the girl for that job. This girl has a twisted side to her that very few know about.
A peeping Tom? You mean like a real one?
I think so.
I've always wondered what that'd be like. Having peeping Tom always sounded kinda, I don't know, sexy?
Definitely twisted. But who is she and why do I care?
Do you think he'll come back?
What if he does?
Then you'll have to tell me all about it.
How would you like to come over and catch Peeping Tom? Two girls, irresistible, right? You can tell your parents you're doing a school project.
Does everyone use that excuse? I think parents would have caught on by now.
And that's when I heard the first.
Pretend you didn't hear. Just play along. Oh my god! You let him touch you where? You know what I could use? A nice deep back massage.
You're evil.
You know what it means if he stops taking pictures, right?
No.
It means he's doing something else. Oh well.
You should call the cops.
No way, I'm not leaving until I find it by a note. What if he goes to our school?
What if he does?
When I say 3, we charge the window. It's time for some body lotion!
Check my top dresser drawer.
Can't stop listening.
Oh my god! I didn't know you were into this. We should use it together.
There was nothing in my whole room worthy of a reaction like that. Okay.
How many of these do you have? You're definitely a naughty girl.
Why don't you count them?
Let's see. Here's 1, here's 2, and 3.
Sorry, Tyler. You brought this on yourself.
At school the next day, I asked everyone that same question. Where were you last night? Tyler, you gave yourself up. Your response was the most offensive and interesting of all.
What, me? Nowhere.
And somehow by telling me you were nowhere, made your eyes twitch and your forehead break into a sweat.
You are such an idiot, Tyler.
But hey, at least you're original, and at least you stopped coming around my house. But your presence, Tyler, that never left. My room, my house, was supposed to be safe from the outside, and you were the one who took that away. Well, not all of it, but you took away what was left. And the girl featured in your story? Should I tell who it is? Well, that depends. Did she do anything to me? For the answer, insert tape 3.
I'm ready for it to be me, Hannah. I'm ready to get this over with.
Courtney Crimson, you are sweet to everyone as they walk with you in the halls. You are just so sweet, right? Wrong.
What are you doing, Hannah?
Yes, my dear listeners, Courtney Crimson is nice to whomever she's talking to, but ask yourselves this. Is that all show? I think it is. Now let me tell you why. First off, I'm sure Tyler will never let you see those pictures of me giving Courtney a back rub.
Courtney's the one from Hannah's room?
And if you have seen those, lucky you, I'm sure they were very sexy. But as you now know, they were also very posed. Posed. What an interesting word to sum up your tale, Courtney. Yes, you put on your very best smile and let your sweetest personality shine, and I don't think you do this on purpose. And that's why you're on these tapes. To let you know that what you do affects others.
Courtney does come off as genuinely sweet. Hearing her story here on these tapes must have killed her. Killed her. A phrase that I will now drop from my vocabulary.
Courtney, let me back up and say I do not hate you. In fact, I don't even dislike you, but for a time, I thought we were becoming friends.
I don't remember that. I don't think I ever saw them hanging out.
Turns out you're just grooming me to be a tally mark on the list of people who think Courtney Crimson's a really neat girl. And when he did it to me, and I noticed it, I watched you do it to others. Here, Courtney, is your contribution to the anthology of my life.
Hey, this is so weird last night, right?
No,
I mean, what the hell?
seriously.
Too funny.
until I got into the hallway that I realized, wait, she didn't say goodbye. Did you say goodbye on any other day, Courtney? No, not often, but this time it felt intentional. I guess after what we just experienced less than 24 hours before, that would be more than just casual acquaintances. But it turns out that's what we've become again. Until the night of the party. The night that she needed me again. Let me tell you, dear listeners, there is a much bigger, more important party yet to come.
Is that it? Is that where I come in?
But this party brings Courtney into the mix. I was at school.
Hey, wait up. How are you?
Fine, how are you? But truthfully, I didn't care. Every time our eyes caught in the crowded hallway and I watched your gaze jump to another person, I lost a little more respect for you. And I wondered how many people in that one hallway felt the same.
Did you hear about the party tonight?
I have, but I don't feel like going, wandering around, looking for someone to talk to.
We should go together.
She tilted her head to the side and flashed that smile. And though I'm probably imagining this, I think I even saw her bat her eyes.
Yeah, that's Courtney. No one can resist her, and she flirts with just about anyone.
Why? Why should we go to a party together?
Why should we go to a party together? Hannah, so we can hang out.
Why would you want to hang out with me after you've been ignoring me for so long?
I haven't been ignoring you. You've just misread things. It'll be a great chance to get to know each other better.
Though I was still suspicious. She is who she is, and everyone wants to go to a party with her.
Hey! Can you drive?
Fine, Courtney. What time?
I'll give you the time, the address, and everything. This is going to be great.
Here's my theory as to why you wanted to go to a party with me, Courtney. You knew I was hurt, and that wasn't good for your flawless reputation. When I pulled up to your curb, your front door flew open, and you came back to
Jason
the porch and
Vu,
walked
if you're on campus, please report to the main office. Jason Vu, if you are on campus, please report to the main office.
the lift. I wanted to be wrong about Courtney, I did, but at that moment I knew exactly how the night would play out. But how it ended? Well, that was interesting. That was weird.
$2 a cup. Oh, hey, Courtney. Here you go.
$2? That's it? Campus charge girls way differently.
Fireplace is we should hang out. Don't. Trust me.
Why?
I don't remember any stories of Courtney meeting football players. Basketball players, yeah, a lot of them, but not football players.
We should split up.
Gee, that sure didn't take long.
There's a few people I need to meet, and we can meet up later.
Yeah, Courtney, there's a few people I need to see too.
Don't leave without me. You're my ride, remember?
Planning a trip?
Sky Miller, my 8th grade crush. She's always been pretty, but she acts like the thoughts never crossed her mind, especially the past couple of years. Hey, Sky. Now she hardly ever talks to anyone. Why? What happened between 8th grade and now? No one knows. One day, at least it seemed that fast, she just stopped wanting to be a part of anything. I could invite her over to sit and talk. To be more exact, I could try to talk with her. An almost guaranteed one-way conversation.
See you tomorrow.
And that's it. The conversation's over. Longer than usual, actually. Part of me, I admit, is kind of relieved. There's duct tape holding the window together. Did someone throw a rock at his window? As I get closer, I can almost picture Hannah standing here whispering something into her recorder.
Want to throw something? Hold it. It's me.
What are you doing here, Marcus?
Take this.
Why?
You'll feel better, Clay. Honest.
Let me guess, Marcus. You're on the tapes. Did you do that?
You'd be the first to say no.
My heart starts racing. Not from Marcus standing here, or Tyler standing somewhere inside, or the heavy rock in my hand, but from what he just told me.
You're the third person to come around here. Plus me. That's my house down there, with the light on. I've been watching Tyler's house to see who comes around here.
I can't imagine what Tyler told his parents. Did he plead with them not to replace the window because more of them might be coming?
The first was Alex. We're hanging out in my house when, out of nowhere, he wanted me to point out Tyler's house. I don't know why. It's not like they were friends or anything, but he seemed like he really wanted to know.
So, what, you just gave him a rock to throw out his window?
No, it was his idea. I didn't even know the tapes existed yet.
You're on the tapes too, right?
So are you.
So what makes us so different from him?
He's a peeping Tom. He's a freak. He looked in Hannah's window, so why not break his?
And you? What did you do?
Nothing. It's ridiculous. I don't belong on those tapes. Hannah just wanted a reason to kill herself.
Get the hell away from me, Marcus.
It's my street, Clay.
Was I disappointed when you ditched me, Courtney? No, not really. It's hard to be disappointed when what you expected happens. But did I feel used? Absolutely. Did anyone at that party actually believe she brought me there as a friend, or did she simply think I was her latest charity case? Either way, I needed to leave. When I approached the gate to leave, guess who was standing there all by himself? Tied down, fully equipped with his camera. His face when he saw me was priceless. Was he trying to shield his camera from my view? Why would he do that? Everyone knows he's part of the yearbook staff, but I asked anyways. What's that for?
What, this? Yearbook.
And then from behind me, someone called my name. No, I'm not going to tell you who it was, because again, what was about to be said is just an after effect of someone else's actions.
Courtney said I should talk to you.
After this, your reputation as a sweet girl is ruined, Courtney.
She said you're fun to hang out with.
Fun? How? How?
She said you got a few surprises buried in your dresser.
She made that up. Courtney completely made that up.
Did she tell you what was in my dresser? Do you believe everything people say about me?
Calm down, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter! You want a picture? Follow me.
You want a picture of my bag? Another print that you know, underage drinking?
Right. Why would they want a yearbook that showed actual student life? No. I want you to take a picture of me and Courtney.
Hey, are you having fun?
Someone wants to take a picture. Put the cup down, the yearbook won't be able to use it.
I don't want to.
Why? Why'd you invite me here, Courtney? Please tell me I wasn't just a chauffeur. I mean, I thought we were becoming friends.
We are becoming friends.
Then put your cup down. It's time for a picture. Remember, if you want to borrow something from my dresser drawer, all you have to do is ask.
You ready?
I'm leaving. This party sucks.
Hannah, please don't go. How will I get home?
Find another ride. I wanted to cry for being so right about Courtney's invitation. Instead, a long walk back to my car, and I shouted to the trees, "What's going on?" In the end, I took the longest possible route home.
I have a feeling I'll be doing the same.
And finally, I discovered I was sick of this town and everyone in it.
I'm starting to get there too.
How many of you remember Oh My Dollar Valentines?
How many of us would rather forget?
Those were fun, weren't they? First you fill out a survey, then a computer analyzes your results and cross-references it with other surveys. For just $1, you get the name and number of your one true soulmate. For $5, you get your top 5, and hey, all proceeds go to a good cause.
Cheer camp.
Every morning, over the loudspeaker, you hear the cheery announcements.
Only 3 more days.
Only 2 more days.
Only 1 more day.
Today's the day.
And then all the cheerleaders sang.
Oh my dollar, oh my dollar, oh my dollar Valentine. Woo!
The survey was a two-parter. Part 1, you feel like you explain yourself. Hair color, eye color, body type, favorite type of music and movie. Part 2, it's your time to explain what you're looking for in a soulmate. As I filled out mine, I found myself describing one person in particular.
I should have answered my survey more honestly.
You'd think that if all my answers described one person, he would have at least showed up in my top 5. But that guy didn't show up on my list anywhere. And no, I'm not going to tell you his name. Yet.
For fun, I filled mine out as Holden Caulfield from The Catcher in the Rye. What a horrible first date that depressed loser would make.
The morning the lists were distributed, I bubbled in my answers and headed to the student body office.
Hannah Baker, I didn't know you were friends.
At least,
That's what I figured. That's what I thought. I mean, you are friends, aren't you?
My first thought was of Tyler standing outside my window, and I was furious. Was he really showing off those peeping Tom photos to Mrs. Benson?
Well, I delivered some chicks to the yearbook room this morning and saw sample photos for the yearbook. One was of you and Courtney.
You guessed it. The one from the party with my arm around her waist, looking like I was having the time of my life. No, just acquaintances.
Well, it's a really fun picture. The wonderful thing about yearbook photos is that everyone shares the moment with you forever.
Usually I would have agreed, but not with that photo. Everything about it was false. But now, the survey. Was this just another chance to get jerked around?
If I had been smart, if I had been honest with my survey, I would have described Hannah, and maybe we would have seriously talked, but I didn't do that.
Very little I told myself could go wrong. The survey was a joke, no one's gonna use it. Calm down, Hannah, you are not setting yourself up. In the end, I walked out of that office, my survey still in the box. Unsure what I was, an optimist, a pessimist, neither, a fool.
Hi, thanks for supporting the cheerleaders, Hannah. That sounded dumb, right? What did I say to everyone?
It was probably the same cheerleader who helped me.
So, how many names do you want? 1 or 5?
5, please.
You know, they put the printer on your side so they don't give you your names, so people don't feel embarrassed by what they get.
That's a good idea.
So, who'd you get?
Definitely the cheerleader who helped me.
I'm just joking.
No, she wasn't.
Ooh, not bad. I like this one.
Yeah, it's not a bad list. Not wonderful either.
It's a shrugger, I guess. You want to know a secret? It's not the most scientific of surveys.
2 of these guys fit pretty well.
Yeah, they do.
And this one, can't believe I got him. Pretty cool.
No, trust me, no.
I didn't push the subject, but I should have. And in a few more tapes, you'll know why. Which reminds me, I haven't introduced our main man on this tape is. Who this main man on this tape is. But fortunately for us, it's the perfect time to introduce him because that's exactly when he showed up. Yours? Hello?
Hannah Baker, good to see you.
Who is this?
Yes. Guess how I got your number.
I hate guessing games.
I paid for it.
You paid for my number?
So, it looks like I made your list. It looks like you made my list, but I didn't make yours.
Actually, you did make her list. A different one. One I'm sure you don't like being on.
And where on your list did my name pop up?
Guess. Just kidding. Ready for this? You're my number 1, Hannah.
This is so cool.
So, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Depends. Who is this? Marcus Cooley.
I should have hit him with the rock when I had the chance.
Marcus, as you know, is one of the biggest goof-offs at our school. Not a slacker goof-off, but a good goof-off. He's actually funny, so I didn't take his words at face value. Fine, when?
So cool.
Okay. Well, how about roses? You know, for ice cream?
Ice cream? I didn't mean it to come out like that. There was just something about an ice cream date that sounded so sweet. So I agreed to meet Marcus there after school.
You've absolutely got to let me brag about this.
Fine, but not until tomorrow, just kidding. Did I tell the cheerleader about what happened at Rosie's? No, instead I avoided her for as long as possible. If you'd like the full Hannah Baker experience, go to Rosie's for yourself. Rosie's, to me, had an aura about it. A mystery. So naturally, I wanted to go, but I wasn't about to go alone and look like a dork. Marcus gave me the excuse I needed. I was a little wary of Marcus. Not so much of him, but more of the people he hung out with.
People like Alex Standall.
After breaking away from our group, Alex started hanging out with Marcus, and after his little stunt with the who's hot, who's not list, I didn't trust him. So why don't I trust someone he hangs out with?
You shouldn't.
Why? Because I wanted them to know me. I wanted them to get past the rumors. So I walked into Rosie's, and when you go, if you go, don't order right away. Honey, is everything all right? It's getting late.
I forgot to call. Sorry.
Do you want me to pick you up?
Mom, can you do me a favor? I left some tapes on the workbench.
For your project?
It's alright. I'll get them.
I can bring them to you. Just tell me where you are.
I'm at Rosie's.
The diner. Are you getting work done there?
When are you leaving?
As soon as I get the tapes.
Great. I'll see you soon.
Listen to the conversations around you. Are people wondering why you're sitting there alone? Be honest, you've never gone there by yourself, have you?
I haven't.
It's a totally different experience. And when you go, and you don't order anything, people are going to think the same thing about you that they thought about me. You're waiting for someone, and after 15 minutes is up, you're given my permission to order a shake. Because 15 minutes is 10 minutes longer than it should take even the slowest person to walk there from our school. Someone isn't coming.
You're an ass, Marcus. You stood her up when you never even had to ask her out to begin with.
Calm down, Hannah, is what I kept telling myself, which probably didn't put me in a good frame of mind for whenever Marcus finally showed up 30 minutes later.
Marcus didn't stand her up, then what?
I'm sorry. I kind of thought we were joking about the whole date idea, and then I started thinking about it more, and I just figured I'd better come, just in case.
And that's why you're on these tapes, Marcus. Just in case. Just in case I, Hannah Baker, Mr. Reputation, was waiting for you, and sadly I was. You see, Marcus didn't come into Rosie's with them alone. Marcus came into Rosie's with a plan.
It's okay. So, what are you doing after this?
15 minutes. That's how long Hannah said to wait. 15 minutes and then I should order.
Did you order yet?
Are you staying?
Where's your friend? Weren't you working with someone?
She had to, she's in the bathroom.
Oh. Clay,
Yeah.
don't be out long.
It might be a while, Mom. School project.
Just be careful, alright? Everyone's favorite class. Alright, everyone's favorite required class is peer communications. There's very little homework, and don't forget the bonus points for class participation. What's not to like? After feeling more and more like an outcast, peer communications became my safe haven. For one period a day, you were not allowed to snicker behind my back or touch me no matter what the latest rumor.
Rule number 1, day number 1. If anyone snickers behind anyone's back, they owe me a Snickers bar. And if it's an extremely rude Snickers, they owe me a king size.
And everyone paid up. That's the kind of respect people had for Mrs. Bradley. But something happened in peer communications, didn't it? Or else, why would you be listening to me talk about it? But it's not really peer communications that played a role in it. If I never would have taken the class, the outcome very well may have been the same. I guess that's what it's all about. No one really knows for certain how much impact they have on the lives of other people. In the back of Miss Bradley's class stood a metal book rack. But this rack never held any books. Instead, at the beginning of the year, we were all given paper bags to decorate. And then we hung them on the rack with a few pieces of tape.
I know people can have a difficult time saying nice things to each other, so I've devised a way for you anonymously to say how you feel, by putting notes into each other's bags. If you can, say it to their face, but if you can't, put a note into their bag and they'll feel just the same.
As far as I know, no one ever left a mean or sarcastic note in anyone's bag. So, Zach Dempsey, what's your excuse? Yes, Zach, I know you didn't leave anything mean in my bag, but is that hard? But first, let's go back to Rosie's.
Hey, are you okay?
I pretended not to notice him, not because I had anything against him, but because my heart and my trust were in the process of collapsing.
I'm sorry for whatever happened between you and Marcus.
There, at that table, the worst thoughts in the world came into my mind. It was there when I first started to consider a word that I still cannot say. I know you tried coming to my rescue, Zach, but we all know that's not why you're on these tapes. But one question before we continue. When you try coming to someone's rescue and you realize they cannot be reached, why would you ever throw that back in their face?
How many secrets can there be at one school?
Probably got sick to your stomach and you realized what I did. But the more time that went by, the better you felt. No one knew. No one would ever find out.
But now we will.
Before I left Rosie's, I listened to you and your friends' conversations. They were teasing you about not getting that date you assured them was in the bag. And you decided to get back at me in the most childish of ways. You stole my paper bag notes of encouragement.
How pathetic.
So what took me off? Everyone in that class. And I mean everyone was getting notes. And for the most insignificant of reasons. There were people in that class who I considered friends who, after I chopped off most of my hair, would have left me a note. I needed a change. Just like they said, so I changed my appearance, the one thing I still had control over. And the next day, nothing in my bag. I waited 3 weeks. Nothing. It was time to find out what was going on. So I wrote a note for myself that said, Hannah, like the new haircut, sorry I didn't tell you sooner. And then I casually ran my finger around my bag, as if I was checking for notes, but really I left that note for myself. And the next day, nothing. Maybe it didn't seem like a big deal to you, Zach, but I could have used any encouragement those notes have offered me.
The longer I listen to these tapes, the more I feel like I know her.
The day my self-written note went missing, I stood outside the class and started talking to someone I had never spoken with before. Every few seconds, I'd look over my shoulder and watch all the students checking their bag for notes. That sure looked like fun, Zach. That's when I caught you. With a light touch to the lip of my bag, you peeked into my bag, not yours. And the next day, I wrote a little of another note. I folded it in half and put it in my bag.
The perfect setup.
In that moment, I was scared. Would he yell at me? Tell me he's sorry? The answer, none of the above. I wasn't worth an explanation, not even a reaction, not in your eyes, Zach. For those of you who don't know, the note was addressed to Zach by name. It read that I was at a point in my life where I could use any encouragement those notes might have offered me. You see, I couldn't take it anymore. Zach's not the only one with a slow boil. Why? Why, Zach?
I remember that. Hannah flipping out for no apparent reason and embarrassing herself in front of so many people, but they were wrong. There was a reason.
So let's get personal. In the spirit of opening up, of full disclosure, let me offer you this. My parents love me, I know that, but it has not been easy recently. Not for about a year. There was suddenly a lot more to think about, a lot of pressure to make ends meet. When I cut off my hair, my mom didn't even notice. And as far as I knew, thank you, Zach, no one at school noticed either.
I noticed.
At school, Miss Bradley also had a paper bag. She wanted us to recommend topics for future discussions, so I did just that. I wrote a note that read, suicide. It's something I've been thinking about, not too seriously, but I've been thinking about it.
The haircut, averting your eyes in the halls. You were careful, but there were signs.
So in that moment, what did I want from the class? Well, mainly, I wanted to hear their thoughts, their feelings, and boy, did they tell me.
It's going to be hard to help someone without knowing why the person wants to kill himself.
I mean, if they're lonely, we could invite them to sit with us at lunch.
If it's grades, we can tutor them.
If it's at home, then we could give them counseling or something.
It's like whoever wrote this note just wants attention. If they were serious, they'd have told us who they were.
There really was no way for Hannah to open up in that class.
Were they just being nosy, or did they really think that knowing specifics is the best way to help? Maybe a bit of both. Maybe I was just being selfish. Maybe I wanted to hear people discuss me and my problems, or maybe I wanted someone to point a finger at me and say,
Hannah, are you thinking about killing yourself? Please don't do that, Hannah. Please.
But deep down, the truth was, the only person saying that was me. Deep down, those were my words. At the end of class, Miss Bradley passed out a flyer called The Warning Signs of a Suicidal Individual. Guess what was up there in the top 5? A sudden change in appearance. Who knew I was so predictable? Sometimes we have thoughts that even we don't understand. Thoughts that aren't even true, but they're running through our head because they're just something to think about. That's what I love about poetry. And honestly, there's no better way to explore your emotions than with poetry.
Or audio tape.
The results can be amazing and scary, but it's always cheaper than a therapist.
Maybe a therapist would have helped.
I bought a spiral notebook to keep all my poems in one place. My first few attempts were a bit sad and pretty straightforward, but some of them came out pretty well. At least I think they did. To me, yes, these tapes are from prophetic therapy. And I never say my last words on these tapes. It's going to be one well-connected emotional ball of words. In other words, a poem. Thinking back when I stopped writing in my notebook, when I stopped wanting to know myself. But I loved poetry, and I missed it. And one day I decided to go back to it. D7 on your maps. The community room at the public library. They taught a free public course called Poetry to Love Life.
It's too dark to go there now.
This poem is about death and the evilness of men.
This is about the destruction of the greenish-bluish orb with wisps of white.
What?
Her.
Seriously, that's how she described it.
Another reason I hate poetry. Who says orb instead of ball or sphere?
Earth is a gaseous alien that needs an abortion.
Expose yourself. Let us see your deepest and your darkest.
So many times I wanted to raise my hand and say, so when do we get to the happy stuff? In the end, I only made it through a few of those poetry meetings, but something came out of it. Who was it? The editor of our school's very own Lost and Found Gazette.
Ryan Shaver.
So, Ryan Shaver, here you go. The truth shall set you free.
The motto of the Lost and Found.
You've known this for a while, Ryan. Since the very first mention of poetry, you knew this one was about you. But I'm sure you probably thought, this can't be why I'm on the tapes. It wasn't a big deal.
Poem from school. It was hers. We discussed it in English a lot, and Hannah was there for it all.
Some of you may recall it now, the Lost and Found Gazette. Ryan Shaver's semi-annual collection of items found lying around campus. Like a love letter tossed under a desk, never to be discovered by its intended love. If Ryan found it, he'd scratch off the giveaway names, and use it for use in the upcoming Gazette. Some people may wonder how he found so many interesting things to scan. Did he really find them all, or did he steal them? I asked him that very same question at one of our poetry meetings.
I swear, everything I print is found purely by chance.
But guess what? My poem, he stole it. After our poetry meetings, we'd sit outside the library and talk. That first week, we just laughed about how depressing all the poems read were.
Wasn't this supposed to make us happy?
Apparently, you signed up for the same reason as me.
I have an idea. Let's read our own poems to each other, but only the happy ones.
And as poets never do, we explained ourselves, line for line. On that third week, we took the biggest leap of all and handed each other our entire notebooks of poetry. But one of my poems grabbed him, and he wanted to know more about it, like when I wrote it. I didn't tell him. I wrote it the same day a group of students got angry that someone had the nerve to ask for help regarding suicide, and whoever it was didn't sign their name.
It was anonymous, just like the poem appeared in the Lost and Found.
So Ryan wanted to know why I wrote the poem. With that one, I told him the poem had to speak for itself, but I was interested in knowing what he thought it meant.
On the surface, this poem is about acceptance. Acceptance from your mother. But more than that, you want her approval. And you want certain people, in this case a boy, to stop overlooking you.
A boy?
I asked him if he thought it meant anything deeper, and part of me was joking. I thought he'd figure out my poem exactly.
This poem isn't about your mom or a boy. This poem is about you. You're writing a letter to yourself in the form of a poem.
You're wrong. But he was right, and I was scared and sad by my own words.
You're afraid of dealing with yourself, using your mom as an excuse, accusing her of not appreciating or accepting you, when you should have been saying those words into a mirror.
And the boy, what does he represent?
It's me. I know that now.
No boy is overlooking you more than you're overlooking yourself. That's why I asked about the poem. I feel it goes deeper than I can figure out.
You were right, Ryan. It goes much, much deeper than that. And if that's what you thought, why would you steal my notebook? Why would you publish my poem? Why would you let other people read it?
And dissect it and make fun of it.
It was never a lost poem, and you never found it, so it did not belong in your collection, but in your collection is exactly where other people found it. That's where teachers stumbled across my poem before their lectures on poetry, where classrooms filled with students cut up my poem, searching for its true meaning.
In our class, no one got it right, but at that time we all thought we did. Even Mrs. Porter.
Do you know what Mrs. Porter said right before handing out my poem?
Reading a poem by an unknown member of our school is the same as reading a classic poem by a dead poet.
That's right, a dead poet.
Clay, sit down, Clay.
Is everything okay?
You're the 9th person I've had to follow.
What are you talking about?
The second set of tapes. Hannah wasn't bluffing. I have them. It's okay. What tape were you listening to? Who?
Ryan's, the poem.
Can we see what you listen to the next one?
Why?
Because it's about you, Clay. The next tape is about you. Listen to it. Don't leave the spot.
Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
My story. My tape. This is how it begins.
Good question, Juliet, and I wish I knew the answer. To be honest, there was never a point in my life when I said, Clay Jensen, he's the one. I don't even know how much of the real Clay Jensen I got to know over the years. Most of what I knew was just secondhand information, and that's why I wanted to know him better. Because everything I heard, and I mean everything, was good. It was one of those things where once I noticed it, I couldn't stop noticing it.
Hannah, let's get on with it, please.
Overhearing gossip about Clay became my distraction. Usually when someone has a stellar image, another person's waiting in the wings to tear him apart. Waiting for that one fatal flaw to expose itself. But not with Clay. And I hope this tape doesn't make you go out and dig for that deep, dark, and dirty secret of his, which I'm sure there are, at least a few of them, right?
I've got a few.
But wait, isn't that what you're doing, Hannah? You're setting him up as Mr. Perfect only to tear him down. You, Hannah Baker, were the ones waiting in the wings, waiting for a flaw, and you found it. And you can't wait to tell us all about it and ruin his image. To which I say no. And I hope you aren't disappointed. I hope you aren't just listening, salivating for gossip. I hope these tapes mean more to you than just that. Clay, honey, your name does not belong on my list. It does not belong in the same way as the others, but it needs to be here if I'm going to tell my story, to tell it more completely.
Why do I have to hear this? Why didn't she just get me if I don't belong?
No, it would have driven you crazy not knowing what happened to her. Besides, I think she wanted you to know.
But why?
Yes, there are some major gaps in my story. Some parts I just couldn't figure out how to tell. The next few tapes are all centered around one night.
The party.
They're centered around our night, Clay. And I know you know what I mean by our night because out of all the nights we spent going to the same school, there was only one night when we connected. When we really connected. That night brings many of you into the mix as well. One of you for a second time.
I hated that night.
Hopefully, no one else has to hear these tapes except for those on the list. Leaving any changes they make to your life is entirely up to you. But if these tapes do get out, you'll have to deal with the consequences entirely out of your control. For some of you, the consequences may be minimal. Maybe embarrassment or shame. For others, it's hard to tell. Maybe a lost job, jail time. Let's keep this between us, shall we? So Clay, I wasn't even supposed to be at that party that night. But during one of my Clay Jensen gossip moments, I heard that you were supposed to be at the party. What? Clay Jensen at a party? Unheard of.
I studied on the weekends, and most of my classes were tested every Monday. It's not my fault.
No one can figure out why you never went to parties, but they had all sorts of theories. But guess what? None of them were bad.
Give me a break.
For those of you who don't know which party I'm talking about, there is a red star on your mat. A big, fat, red star, C6, 512 Cottonwood. That night, I decided that walking to a party would be nice, relaxing. It felt like life held so many possibilities, and for the first time in a long time, I felt hope.
So did I. I forced myself out of my house into that party. I was ready for something exciting to happen.
Oh, guess I misread things a bit.
And now, knowing what happened between Hannah and I, would I still have gone?
It was simply the calm before the storm.
Yeah, even if the outcome stayed the same.
By the time I arrived, the music was loud and no one was dancing. It could have been any party, except for one thing, Clay Jensen. I'm sure you probably heard a lot of sarcastic remarks about you showing up, Clay, but by the time I got there, to everyone else, you were just another part of the party. But unlike everyone else, you were the whole reason I came. After everything going on in my life, going on in my head, I wanted a chance to talk with you, to really talk, a chance we never seem to get at school, a chance to ask, who are you?
We never got that chance because I was afraid I had no chance with her, and I was fine with that. Because what if she turned out to be the person they said she was? What if she wasn't like they said? That more than anything would have hurt the most. Hannah, hey.
I couldn't believe it. Out of the blue, there he was.
I don't know why, but I think you and I need to talk.
Okay. We sat and started talking just like that. Everything I could have hoped for was happening. The questions were personal, as if catching up to the time we let pass. But the questions never felt intrusive, and they weren't intrusive because I wanted you to know me.
You could. It was wonderful. I couldn't believe you and I were actually talking, and I didn't want it to stop. I loved talking with you, Hannah.
It's like you could know me, like you understood anything I told you. And the more we spoke, the more I knew why. The same things concerned us, the same things excited us.
You could have said anything. I would have listened to absolutely anything.
I wanted to tell you everything, and that hurt. Because some things were too scary. Some things I couldn't even understand. How could I tell someone I was talking with for the first time everything that was going on in my head? I couldn't, it was too soon.
But it wasn't.
Maybe it was too late.
You're telling me now. Why did you wait till now?
You kept saying things would flow easily between us.
I felt that way for a long time. I knew we would get along.
How could you know we would connect? Because I heard what people said about me. I knew all the rumors and lies that will always be a part of me.
I knew they weren't true, Hannah. I mean, I hoped they weren't true. But I was too afraid to find out.
It was breaking. If only I had talked with you sooner, we could have, I don't know. But things had gone too far by then. My mind was set, not on ending my life, but on never being close with anyone ever again. I would leave, I would graduate, and leave. Then I went to a party. I went to a party to meet you, Clay. Why would I do that to make myself suffer?
I would have stayed until you opened up and let everything out. I wanted to help you.
How many times have I let myself get close to someone only to have it thrown back in my face? Things were good, but I knew they had potential to be bad, much, much more painful than the others.
And there was no way that that was going to happen.
And there he was, letting me connect with him. And when that was too hard, when I pulled topics to lighter subjects, he made me laugh. He was exactly what I needed.
What was that for?
You're such an idiot. So now let's get comfortable. In the spirit of opening up, let me tell you what happened in that bedroom between me and Clay. You ready? We kissed. That's it. We kissed.
And that's when I whispered to her that I was sorry, because inside, I felt so happy and sad at the same time. Sad because it took us so long to get here, but happy we got here together.
Felt like I could start over with him if I wanted. Start over from what? And that's where I remembered Justin, my real first kiss. I remembered the anticipation leading up to it, and then I remembered how he ruined it. Stop! I shut my eyes so tight it was painful, trying to push away all I was seeing in my head. And what I was seeing was every name on this list and more. Every name that caused me to be intrigued by Clay's reputation. Clay's reputation was deserved! Mine was not! And there I was, with him, adding to my reputation.
But Hannah,
Just go.
Hannah.
Please. That, Clay, is where your story ends.
But it shouldn't have. I was there for you. You had a choice and you pushed me away.
You left the room, and we never spoke again.
Your mind was set. No matter what you say, it was set.
When I got home, I tore a page from my notebook and started writing name after name. Every name I saw in my head when I stopped kissing you, 3 dozen at least. And then I made the connections. First, I circled Justin's name. I drew a line from Justin to Alex, from Alex to Jessica, bypassing names that didn't connect, incidents all by themselves. And then I got to you, Clay, the whole reason I went to that party. I circled your name and drew a line back to a previous name.
It was Justin.
Soon after Clay left, that person reopened the door. But he's already received the tapes, so just skip him when you pass them on, Clay. Because in a roundabout way, he caused a new name to be added to this list, and that's who should receive the tapes after you. And yes, Clay, I'm sorry too.
I didn't know what to make of that night. I had liked her for so long from so far away, but I never got the chance to tell her.
Clay, I need to know that you're going to be alright.
No one blames me.
No one.
But what about you?
No, I don't blame you.
Soon after Clay left, the couple from the couch walked back into the bedroom. Well, stumbled into the bedroom, it's more accurate. I thought he would tuck her in and that'd be it. He'd leave, and that'd be my perfect chance for a getaway. End of story. But that was not the end of the story, because that would make for a very interesting tape, now would it? And by now, I'm sure you probably knew it wasn't the end.
Are you still awake? Do you want me to take you to the bathroom for you and you? Okay, I'll check on you in a bit.
Sorry, but you're gonna have to wait for a name on this one. Before I say his name out loud, this guy needs to stew a bit. Go on. Deny I was in that room. Deny I know what you did, or not what you did, what you didn't do, what you allowed to happen. I know she wasn't your girlfriend, and that you guys barely even spoke. But is that your best excuse for what happened next? Is that your only excuse? Either way, there is no excuse.
Don't. Let her rest.
Oh, come on, man.
Don't. Trust me. She won't move. She'll just lay there.
Look, I'm working the night shift. I have to leave in a few minutes. Just relax a second.
Just relax. He said those words before. It's what he always says when he's taking advantage of someone. Girlfriends, guys, whoever it may be. Bryce Walker was in that room.
I could have stopped it. If I could have talked, if I could have thought about anything else, but I didn't. It doesn't matter what my excuse was. That my mind was in a meltdown is no excuse. I could have stopped it. But to stop it, I felt like I had to stop the entire world from spinning. Like, things have been so out of my control for so long that what I did hardly mattered anymore. I wanted the world to stop, to end.
For Hannah, the world did end, but it didn't for Jessica. And then Hannah hit her with these tapes.
I don't know how many songs went by with me still stuck in my closet, but when footsteps fell in the room, a few songs after he'd entered, I pushed my back against the closet wall, waiting, and then footsteps walked away. It was over. I mean, he couldn't be late for work. Now could he? And that's when I saw you. The person this whole tape revolves around, Justin Foley. We come a long way from my first kiss at the bottom of the rocket slide to now. First you started a reputation for me, now you're working on hers. So, now, your friend, is he still your friend? Your friend that raped her? Yes, but why? It must be denial. He's always been a good friend to you, so he couldn't have done anything wrong. which means you didn't do anything wrong, and that is great news, because if he didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't do anything wrong, then I didn't do anything wrong, and you have no idea how much I wish I didn't ruin that girl's life, but I did.
Full story. What happened?
She came over to my house, Hannah, and that was my chance.
A chance for what?
Clay, the signs were all there. She came over to my house to give me her bike, that blue one that she always rode to school. Said if my car ever broke down, I needed a backup. It was a sign, and I missed it. But I told her that I couldn't take her bike, not without giving her something in return.
What did you give her?
She asked how I made my tapes, the ones I play in my car. So I told her about my dad's old tape recorder. Then she asked me if I had anything to record voices, like a handheld device that you didn't have to plug in but could walk around with. I didn't even ask why, I just told her to wait and I'd get her one. Then a few days later, when I got home from school, there's a package on my porch. I take it up to my room and I start listening to the tapes, but it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense because Hannah and I had third period together and she was at school that day. They don't even know they're anything, it's just the tapes.
What?
When I started listening to them, I went through those tapes so fast forwarding, rewinding, and I wasn't on them. And then I realized that she gave me the second set of tapes. So I freaked out, but I looked her up, called her house, and no one answered. So then I called her parents' shop, and I told them that something was wrong and they needed to find her, but I couldn't bring myself to tell them why. Then, the next day at school, Hannah isn't there. And I went up to the office, pretending I was sick, went home early, and I have to admit, it took me a few days to pull myself together. But when I got back, Justin Foley looked like hell. And then Alex, and I thought, okay, most of these people deserve it. So I'm going to make sure that you all hear what she has to say. I'm going to do what she asks.
But why you? Why did she give you the second set of the tapes?
That's the thing I kept going over and over in my mind. The only thing I could think of is because I gave her the recorder, that stupid recorder. She thought I had a stake in it. I would play along.
You're not a part of them, Tony, or you're not on them, but you're still a part.
I have to go.
Wait, I didn't mean anything by that, honest.
I know, but it's late.
I walked back into the party. Well, staggered is more accurate, but not from alcohol, from everything else. And then a hand touched my shoulder. A gentle squeeze with Jenny Kurtz.
The cheerleader from Oh My Dollar Valentine.
Here you go, Jenny. This one's for you.
Hannah, do you need it home?
I almost laughed. Was it that obvious? Did I look that bad? We got in the car and Jenny didn't say a thing. The rain wasn't heavy, but it kept everything dreamlike, and I needed that. It kept everything in my life from becoming too real, too fast. And then it hit. There's nothing like an accident to cause the whole world crashing back.
An accident?
The front wheel on my side bumped into and jumped the curb. A wooden post slammed into your front bumper and snapped back like a toothpick. A stop sign fell in front of your headlights, and you slammed on the brakes and you screamed. You sat there, staring through the windshield for a few seconds. Then my hand stayed gripped to my seatbelt, thankful we only hit a sign.
Did the accident with an old man and a guy from school, did Hannah know? Did she know Jenny caused it?
The dent wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't good either, but you had to feel some relief. It could have been worse. It could have been much, much worse. For example, you could have hit something else.
She knew.
And what were your first words when you walked back into the car?
Well, that sucks. Hannah, I'm not drunk. It's raining.
Barely parked the car.
Be reasonable. Nobody obeys the stop signs anyway. They just roll on through. And now
Park it, please.
Hannah, listen.
Park the car.
Get out.
You should be thankful we only hit a sign.
Hannah, get out!
Finally, I did. I opened the car door and stepped into the curb, but I didn't close it. Can I use your phone?
Lied.
I should have lied. We need to tell at least someone about what happened.
They'll trace it. They can trace phone calls, Hannah. Shut the door.
I didn't. You revved your engine, and I took the hint. Stepping back into the curb, you peeled away, caused the door slammed shut as you picked up speed, and you got away. And again, I could have stopped it somehow.
We all could have stopped something. The rumors, the rape, you.
At the very least, I could have reached in and stolen your keys. At the very, very least, I could have stolen your phone to call the police. But you made your way home safely, Jenny. But that didn't matter. The sign was knocked over. That was the problem. B6 on your maps. 2 blocks from the party house, there's a sign. But on that night, for part of the night, there wasn't one. A stop sign wasn't on the corner that night. And someone is trying to deliver his pizzas on time. It's raining, and someone in the other, going the other direction, is turning.
The old man.
There wasn't a stop sign there. One of the drivers died.
No one knew who caused it. Not us, not the police. But Jenny and Hannah knew, and maybe Jenny's parents, because someone fixed her bumper real fast.
Eventually, I made my way to a gas station. C7 on your maps. I used a payphone to call the police, and when they answered, I sucked in the tears that wet my lips and said, "On the corner of Tanglewood and South," but she cut me off. She said that the police had already been called and were on their way. I was shocked. I couldn't believe you actually called the police, Jenny, but I shouldn't have been shocked, because it turns out you didn't call the police. The next day at school, I found out who did call the police, and it wasn't to report a fallen sign. It was to report an accident I never knew of until that night. But after I hung up the phone, I wandered the streets some more. I couldn't go back home. If my parents caught me sneaking in with tears in my eyes, they'd ask many questions, unanswerable questions.
That's what I'm doing now. Staying away. I wasn't crying the night of the party, but I can barely hold it back now. I'm almost at the end.
After everything that has happened on these tapes, I thought about suicide. Usually it was just a passing thought. I wish I would die.
I've thought those words many times too, but it's a hard thing to say out loud. It's even scarier to feel you might mean it.
So I've decided on the least painful way possible. Pills. But what kind and how many? I'm not sure. And there's not much more time to decide because tomorrow I'm going to do it. Do you remember the last thing you said to me?
In Mrs. Porter's English class, I noticed your desk was empty. And when the bell rang and I walked into the hall, there you were. And we almost bumped into each other. And together we said it. I'm sorry. And then you looked up. What was that in your eyes? Sadness? Pain? You moved around me and I watched you walk away with people bumping into me and I didn't care. I stood there and watched you disappear. Forever.
After being shut in for so long, I decided to catch a breath of fresh air. One last try. I'm giving life one last chance, and this time I'm getting help. Well, I'm asking for it because I cannot do this alone. I've tried that.
I was there for you, Hannah.
There's only one person keeping you from this collection of audio tapes. Mrs. Porter. Mrs. Porter, let's see how you do.
Hannah, how can I help you? What would you like to talk about?
Everything, I guess.
That might take a while. Hannah, it's okay. I've got as much time as you need, whenever you're ready.
It's just, there's so much. I don't know where to begin. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't know how to sum it all up.
You don't need to sum sum it all up. Why don't we begin with how you're feeling today, right now?
How I'm feeling right now? Well, I guess I'm feeling kind of empty, lost. I don't care anymore.
Please pardon the interruption.
About
John Bowen, please report to the office. John
People-
Bowen, please report to the
School,
office.
people at my school.
I'm glad you're here, Hannah. So tell me, when you leave here, how do you want things to be different?
You mean, how can you help? Well, I don't know. I need it to stop.
You need what to stop?
Everything. People, life.
Hannah, do you know what you just said? You said you wanted life to stop. Your life? Is that what you meant to say, Hannah? Those are very serious words. You know.
I don't want my life to end. That's why I'm here.
So, how did you get to this point? I know you can't sum it all up. It's the snowball effect. Am I right? It's one thing after another, isn't it?
It's too hard.
Life? Why don't we talk about school? So I can figure out how you got to this point.
It's just a place filled with people I'm required to be with.
And that's hard for you?
At times.
With certain people or people in general?
Well, with certain people, but also people in general. I just don't know when someone's gonna, get me. Or how.
What do you mean, get you?
It's not like a conspiracy or anything. Just I never know when something's gonna pop out of the woodwork.
And get you?
I know it sounds silly, but it's hard to explain unless you've heard some of the rumors about me.
I haven't. Teachers tend to get left out of student gossip. When was the last time a rumor popped up?
Recently at a party, I swear one of the worst nights of my life.
Because of a rumor?
So much more than a rumor.
I'm not going to judge you, Hannah, but did anything happen that night that you might regret?
Yes?
Did anything happen that night that might be considered illegal?
No, I don't know.
If you're not going to press charges, you have two options.
What are they?
One, you can confront whoever did this to you. We can call them in and talk about what happened at this party. I can call you both out of it.
You said there were two options.
Or two, and I'm not trying to be blunt here, Hannah, but you can move on.
You mean do nothing?
It's an option, and that's all we're talking about.
Thank you, Mrs. Porter.
Hannah, wait, don't leave.
I got what I came for.
Hannah, I think there's more we can talk about.
No, I think I get it now. I need to move on. Get over it.
Not get over it, but sometimes there's nothing left to do but to just move on.
Yeah, you're right. I know.
Hannah, wait.
I'm walking down the hall. The door is closed. It's staying closed. She isn't coming. I think I've made myself very clear, but no one seems to be coming and stopping me.
Who else, Hannah? Your parents? Me? You weren't very clear with me.
A lot of you cared, just not enough. And that's what I needed to find out.
But I didn't know what you were going through, Hannah.
And I did. And I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The last words I'll ever hear from Hannah. And now, anytime someone says those words, I'm gonna think of her. I would have helped her if she only had let me. I would have helped her because I want her to be alive. I would have helped you. I want you to be alive.
Before the school day gets too far away, I need someone to take this to the front office for me.
I'm sorry.
All right, Clay.
Someone's a little late to class.
Talk to me later. Stein, wait up.
Spreading rumors does affect people, so does believing them.
Suicide is the number 3 cause of death among teens.
If a friend is sexually assaulted, listen to them. Offer them help if you can, and support them.
Someone else's privacy should never be taken for granted.
Everyone matters.
Setting boundaries is important among significant others as well as friends.
You never know what a positive word can mean to someone.
People who are physically, sexually, or verbally abused are more likely to commit suicide.
2/3 of sexual assaults are committed by somebody the victim knows.
It's important to let your friends help you. If you've ever had thoughts like Hannah Baker, don't keep them to yourself. Talk to someone. Get the help you deserve.
Suicide should never be an option. Someone is always willing to listen. 1-800-SUICIDE is staffed by people who want you to call when you need someone to talk to.